Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts Stocks and Crypto TA live stream. It's a very late night live stream today. It's August 20th, 2023, just after about 1:30 a.m. in the morning. So, we are still in stock earnings season right now. This week is going to be a little bit more focused on the economic data. This week we have Zoom, Lowe's, Macy's. Nvidia is going to be a huge stock earnings report, most likely. Intuit, Marvell, Ulta Beauty, just to name a few. There is the BRICS Summit for 3 days, manufacturing services PMI data, unemployment claims. The biggest data this week is Jackson Hole Symposium, where Fed Chair Powell of the FOMC is going to speak on the economy. Related to cryptocurrency, SpaceX is reported to have sold all of its Bitcoin cryptocurrency, and Coinbase crypto exchange also gets approval to offer crypto futures to USA retail investors soon. So welcome everyone. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We also have a Twitter X group. Starting off with stocks, S&P 500. We had quite of a sell-off for about almost 3 weeks now. So what can we learn from this? Well, there was and is a head and shoulders pattern on several indexes. For one, if you're into price patterns like I am, which is very important, 3% to downside target, didn't quite hit that yet. 435. Now on the weekly chart, remember last week I did say, we have this bearish type of engulfing pattern, type of evening star pattern, and we're selling off. There's plenty of room to pull back all the way down to 425 or 420. Even lower, even as low as 415. Okay, but if you're a swing trader, now it's starting to get oversold, start to bounce a little bit with the potential upside down head and shoulders on the hourly, which is important. If you're an intraday trader, hourly was already death crossed since August 3rd, and it's been under there for a while, and shorts are going to attack that down. Of course they are. We did lose the 200 EMA, and again, 4-hour H4 was not oversold until Friday, which also was triple witching hour options expiration Friday. Keep in mind as well, let's keep in mind as well that there are events in this world that are not on the charts yet. So what am I talking about? At least in America, unfortunately, we had Maui fire. In the West Coast, there are hurricanes, there are storms, there are fires in North America, Canada, typhoons. And then we have weaker economic data coming out from China. That was a surprise to some people. We have the Netherlands saying they're going into recession because of the data, right? August was a kind of a bad month. Bad events, bad news. In the USA, we had weaker corporate earnings data from like Apple, etc., and that kind of crashed the market, and then bears just attacked. That's what happened. Were there signs? Most definitely, yes, there were signs on the charts. So on the weekly, some of the signs were big bearish pullbacks, like end of July. On the daily, there was this head and shoulders bearish pattern that broke bearish last Friday, especially last week. On the 4-hour, it's downtrending on the price. Let me clean this up a little bit. It's downtrending on the price. It did not bounce up. It kept downtrending. So we could draw a trend line. And the bears attacked that. On the hourly, we can clearly see the death cross of the EMAs. Does that make sense? So there are plenty of signs of why did we crash? It was happening all in August. That's right for me. I know it was too high for a price. It's been going up too long. Earnings was not that great. Bad events in the world. So my swing trades exited with profit. Still exited with profit. So as a swing trader, that was what happened to me, at least. Right? That's okay with me. That's totally fine. Once the market cools down, finds the bottom of support, wherever that may be, could be 430, could be 420, 419, or we might have a little lower high bounce on a weekly, back up to 450 for a retest of that. That's all totally fine and normal. All totally fine and normal. Let's move on to QQQ. QQQ was very similar. First off, what I'm going to say is, let me erase some of this. We are still in the bull up cross of the golden market, but there was a lower high right here on August 1st. That is a problem. So we've seen, I've been saying for weeks now, if you rewind the stream, bearish divergence right here, double top on this, watch out for a what? Watch out for a lower high. That happened, and then fading down. It could cross all the way down to 333, but if we kind of zoom in on the intraday, it did have that oversold bounce, ending with a potential upside down head and shoulders, which is bullish on the hourly. Weekly, however, again, the tech stock, especially like Apple, was not good. Also, in the news, we have big billionaire shorts, billionaire short positions entering the market starting from June or July. This is why it's been building for a while now. On the weekly, you finally get this down cross on the MACD signal line. The first red tick down. RSI was overbought, too high. Crossing down. On the daily, not quite oversold. On an H4, finally hitting this oversold position, but it needs to bounce and rebound on the hourly. So this might not be the bottom of this trading move. Just need to watch out for that. 350 is our support on the low side, and our last level of support on the daily is 331. Dow Jones. Dow Jones now, in terms of finding levels of support, we draw this bottom side trend line, and we could see it faded down all the way to the 50 EMA, right below 345. And again, lower high, we see this in the candles. Shooting star, it tried to rebound and then got shorted down to the downside. So this is our lower low. Day traders, swing traders, we're looking for a level of support, ideally for a couple days. Make sure we're not going to crash down more, and this might rebound to create the lower high. Low, high, low, lower high, wherever that is, and then maybe one more lower low to really pierce down to our 200 EMA, which is 334. Weekly, we had this psychological long type of hesitation. We had an inside bar last week. That's bad with bearish news. That's why that happened in the top of the channel. I marked this resistance about 2 weeks ago. So this is not a surprise to me. Quick check on IWM. This is what fading down looks like. We had this bearish divergence, a bearish play here starting from July. So we can see that smaller cap growth stocks were fading down and shorted down to the downside to 182. Now, this is going to be an important retest of the 200 EMA here for these stocks. There is a trendline support somewhere right on this yellow line, 183. Does that make sense? So it needs to hold this. Now, it could float down here for, let's see how long this happened. Weeks, 2 weeks maybe. The larger pattern, because you see we're just testing one of these trend lines. It reminds me of this type of price action right in this blue circle. We faded down. You have one bullish engulfing. So it's a V-shaped recovery on a 1 hour chart, bouncing up, and then that's not the bottom. That could happen here because we pierced out of this resistance line and now we're under it, so we could bounce to retest that. If it fails, then it pulls back down to about 175 area. So always beware of that. The RSI is not, the God truth of trading. It's just one indicator. It's a lagging indicator on price. It's an oscillator. Weekly as well, there's plenty of room to come down a little bit. Just be mindful of that. High, low, high. Is this our high or low? If we lose that high or low, push down to 180 and lower, then we have a big problem on IWM. I do want to point out to people that the VIX, remember this, must have been many streams ago, several streams ago, but I marked this in the yellow box on that stream. I remember this saying, once we get to the $13 range or $12 range, that's the bottom of the move right before the pandemic. And lo and behold, where do we get to? $13, mid $12 range. And we have this crazy volatility. That's a double bottom. This is a picture perfect textbook play of a double bottom. Right there, weekly double bottom on VIX. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any more straightforward than that. Also, clues. I'm trying to show people additional clues. DXY, dollar currency index, had a large bottoming out here in mid-July, oversold on a daily, and then we recovered to the upside. Usually, DXY, the US dollar, is inversely correlated with the S&P 500, oftentimes. So this is oversold, and it's going to go up, meaning the broader market was going to come down. That's exactly what happened. Quick glance on US oil. US oil, like I said, watch out for that fading down, and that's what happened as well. Bounce to this 26 EMA, bouncing up to test the $72 level. We do have this golden cross on this ETF, so just need to watch out for that. Is the higher low going to hold? Will it bounce up to higher high, 75, or pull back down to about 68 level? Something to be mindful of. Watch out for this. This is not looking good here. This is like an evening star type of issue. Thank you. Thank you, Rico or Richo. Rico, I think it is. Thank you for watching, following, subscribing. Nice positive comment there. Hope everything goes well in your life as well in your trading and investing. And thank you for watching and following. Appreciate it. All right. So UNG also getting stuck here. We had this large upside down head and shoulders, but did not penetrate to the upside on the upside down head and shoulders. One could argue and say, wait a second, isn't this another upside down head and shoulders before it's going to break out? So something to just watch out for here is if we have this area of support, 675, 670 area. So if this doesn't go up in a timely manner, something to just maybe keep an eye out on, because this is turning into a double top here, 760. And I can kind of visualize, imagine this pulling back down to about the $630 level. That's looking a little suspicious. Gold, GLD. Looks like a lot of scribble on the charts, but I remember 2 weeks somebody asked me what might happen with gold, and one of these scenarios played out of the lower high resistance, lower low continuation. Now it's approaching the oversold level down here and the 20 RSI level. It's not deep inside there, so I can't recommend this just yet on a daily, because in the past, just hitting 34 is not the bottom potentially for gold. Even having a couple bounces here at 26 might not be the bottom either. So I want to see a correlation with the price structure, because what this looks like to me, this looks like a head and shoulders resistance with a slanted neckline on gold, just like Bitcoin, which we'll get to. Bitcoin, if this is, gold, if this is 7% move and we pull this back down to 165, that's the first level of bearish target, and we just lost that support level. So I'm very closely watching gold. Are these assets going to sell off? Additionally, something to just watch out for, because on a weekly, that looks like a very large bearish head and shoulders pattern to me. And the MACD histogram down here is already down crossed since May 15, May 22nd. And we're not anywhere near oversold here. So that's why there might be something brutally bearish that's about to happen on gold. Something just watch out for. Now, before, I don't want to have a doomsday live stream. So what we're going to do is just throw up a Fibonacci and understand where is the price bouncing between 382, 236. So the first level intermediate could be a 50% retrace down there to about 172. Go to silver quickly. If anybody has a request or question, feel free to ask me in the live chats. Today might be a little bit shorter stream. Silver SLV. This is not turning into quite the upside down head and shoulders I was hoping for. 21 got penetrated, but I did draw this level of support for people in case it turns to a lower low here. So it's holding 2055. And I would draw an alert here. Just Alt A that. And we'll just leave it there. If I lose that support level, I know the next level down is straight here, 1912. That's where this area of support to the left is. Could also bring up a volume profile if you have a TradingView account. And we can see for 2022, there's not much support below $20 to about $17.82. That's not looking so strong. It needs to hold the support very strongly at 2050 before we get a nice bounce. So bullish scenario is bouncing back up to $22 or even 25. As soon as we lose 2050, there's a problem here. Okay, I'm going to speed up and do some of these ETFs. I'm going to take a quick look at some global indexes as well. XOK, so on the daily, we did have this double top here on the 181 level, and you could see we lost that rising wedge support level in this blue area, blue circle. So what I want to watch out for is if it's the end, let's say one scenario is if it's the end of the bull market, then the price will continue to move downstairs pattern. If this is just a temporary dip and retest, this should bounce back up, set the higher low, and we start going upstairs again, maybe 3 months from now or a couple months from now once the data starts to settle. And the world natural problems kind of reduce a little bit, right? We need to find where's the support level. That's the big question right now. Everybody's looking at this chart is, okay, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, or high or low anywhere here between 154. That's why. Now, XLC had a bit of a pullback. We'll just draw this trend line very quickly for people to see. That's a take profit. So if somebody was, let's say, bought here maybe, and their take profit is 10% or 20%, then that take profit level is executed, and we're all out of our trades right now. Either somebody got stopped out from trading too late like this, bought the top on accident, happens to everybody. Bought the top on accident, gets stopped out. Or if you buy in early enough, like I tried to, then we get stopped out into profit, meaning the market's going to take my profit for me. Once I sell the OCO orders of triple, take profit, entry, stop loss. So that's how swing traders, we basically played this whole entire move here for this entire year, basically. Now, XLRE, we did hit this resistance, which I put in the X, and we rejected back down. So now you can see this bottom side trend line is holding, and it definitely needs to hold above $35. Energy was different. I remember drawing this almost 2 months ago. Is this symmetrical triangle, almost descending triangle? This is not a symmetrical triangle. This was descending triangle in the blue. And then we started making higher lows and had a nice breakout with oil. So energy is still attempting its uptrend. XLY, wow, this is kind of a steep curve here. Very similar analysis. But this is what I like to think about. When I throw a baseball or any ball, basketball, football, soccer ball, into the air, gravity is going to pull it down. That's how I like to think of it. This ball got launched into the air price, and when there's no more buyers, not enough demand, just like any online auction, if the price of this asset is $110, nobody's buying, price has to go down a little bit. That's what happened. Let's look at copper. Copper ETF. Not Cooper, copper. Which ETF do you like? We'll use yours, whichever one that you like. Maybe copper futures, copper USD, whichever one you like. Just click it right here. Here's one. This is CFDs on copper. Now let's see. This is a daily tightening symmetrical triangle right here on the CFDs. Okay, so it's just like similar to the XLF ETF. This is not going in an uptrend yet, because uptrend looks like this in 2020 where it's going upstairs. Downtrend looks like this circle where it starts going downstairs. We had an uptrend attempt, faded back down, but holding a higher low. So if I go to a weekly chart, this consolidation now went from downtrend, nice double bottom, holding this higher low. So the two scenarios that I need to watch out for, I need to watch out for 360 and watch out for $4 breakout. So now it's consolidating. We're going sideways, not the ideal price pattern, but we're just barely bouncing up above 367. If it starts to break out to the upside, then we know maybe consider a long entry. It's not financial advice, but perhaps thinking about it. If we lose this support, and many traders are eyeing this in the back of their mind, is if I lose that support, then I probably enter a short position on a copper ETF or something like that. So just want to be mindful, and I hope this is the right chart to help you. If you have any more requests, just let me know. Try to go a little faster here. But everything basically you can just see. Everything's pulling back correlated with the market. We either lost support or got rejected down below resistance. SMH as well, falling back down to a support zone. Okay, let's take a quick look at some of these AMD and NVIDIA stocks this week. AMD pulling back down to a level of support on the weekly. I'm going to leave this dotted line here. We can see fading down, high, low, high, low, high, low, higher, low. We're right at the cusp of that. We need to not go lower or there could be a problem. So this is what an uptrend looks like. Let's just use, we could use Apple, for example, right? Apple was very clear. I'm changing stocks now. Apple, we were in a downtrend. It was very sketchy back here in late 2022. Then we finally bottomed out. Weekly big hammer candle, buy signal, gap up or bullish, engulfing Morningstar pattern, triple candle pattern. Those are all bullish. Then we go high, we establish the higher low, and we keep going higher. Apple was very strange. This was very robotic type of trading. And the fact that once we reach the almost $200 level, there's a problem and fade down big time. This could even keep going down if we really wanted to about the 170 level. Now, related to this, NVIDIA did not break to the downside so easily. High, low, high, low, high. And then it just had this inside bar basically going sideways. So the way I would do this is Fibonacci. And now we have easy support levels. Let me do this one more time. I'm on a weekly, on an investing time frame. If somebody's an investor out there, Fibonacci for easy support levels, and then draw my trend line for the bottom. So now I know when there's a problem. There is a problem right now, literally on the chart. I do not want to see this as a long, because what we need to see as bulls, somebody's a bull, we need to see green. And I need to see the stair step up pattern. This should have launched up higher to maybe 500 level. NVIDIA is reporting earnings in 4 days, so I just want to watch out for that. But if they have bad earnings, you could see that downside target right here at 300 area. And that could happen very fast in 1 day. Something to just watch out for. Okay, just for a few minutes here, let's take a quick look at some of the global indexes. Starting with China. So this is the Shenzhen Component Index. And you can see China, a lot of this data that we've been hearing on the internet and the news is that China's economy was not growing. I'm paraphrasing here, and that they had some problems with their data. So I can see that actually reflected in the chart, because if it was a massive uptrend, this should not have come down in 2023. This is 2023 on this vertical pink line, these two pink lines. That is angling down. So that is how I know there is a problem on this index. It was whipsawing up trend into a downtrend, uptrend into a downtrend, into a lower high, lower low, bad. This is all bad. Double top, this is all bad. So now it's back up down to the support level. If I zoom out, you can see it's turning into a large descending triangle. And we just lost the bottom of that floor. That's bad. Correlation. We don't want to see that. So now you know, if we measure this move, it could even go drop down negative 17%. This is why people are starting to not feel good about the market anymore, especially in some of these countries. So Nikkei 225, Japan, is more looking like the S&P 500. Okay, it's different. It was a long period of consolidation in a wedge pattern, almost ascending triangle. Somebody could say that, ascending triangle, and that's why we blasted up 10 to 15%, and now it actually had its retrace. Looks like back down to about 236 level. So you see this? This is unnatural. When something goes straight up like that, doesn't go nicely in a stair-step pattern, just goes up, it's going to be violently come down. But it doesn't mean the market is going to go to zero. There's still levels of support here. We use the volume profile again. I use pivots. There's no volume data here. This is a free indicator by TradingView, by the way, pivots, just to get some secret levels so you can see next level down in these orange. And it's below the white pivot points. It's downtrending for now. Just for now. It's not game over, because this can also be a bullish consolidation pattern where it's a temporary pullback, and then if we have good news, it breaks out back up to the upside like this on the right side. I call it it's like a Z pattern, zigzag, upstairs, flag pattern. So let's look at Hong Kong really fast. Hong Kong is also fading down in 2023, but it's not as bad as China's data, but it's starting to fade down into the 618 area. So we might see some people just try to pick up some of these ETFs based upon value at the 618 or 786. If it falls back all the way down back to October 2022 crash levels, that's problematic. Then we know something went really wrong here with some of this economic restart. Euro next, very quickly. Let me do, where's Australia index? Where did I put it? I'll use this one, the ASX 200. This might not be the perfect one, but you can see here in 2023, unfortunately, more or less a consolidation to the side, which is not necessarily bad, but it's not straight up. Like we saw Japan, they just went straight up and it came down like this. So it's kind of going sideways in a symmetrical triangle, but there is level of support here in this blue line that above 7,000 Australian dollars, we need to hold that. And there was actually a very obvious price pattern here. This is a head and shoulders on the daily. And we can use the tool, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and now you can see it on the chart. So that's very clear. and we can measure 2% downside target, and it went exactly 2%. So if it's going to go double that target, another 2% down would take us outside of the rising wedge. Yellow lines, the dotted yellow lines, and that can bring us to 7,000 Australian dollars. I don't really want to see that happen, because I want to see the higher low support levels hold, meaning the floor needs to hold, floor hold, bottom holds, bottom hold, and then bounce back up if there's any good news or data at all. Hopefully there is for people, right? 7,500. But in the back of my mind, I understand that if all markets are going to sell off this year for the next 6 months, something to watch out for is we lose the floor. If it bounces up and then we don't recover, then there could be a little mini crash. Something to just keep in mind. So the bullish scenario is it's going to test that floor and bounce back up just to stay inside of the pattern. Bearish scenario is we lose the floor, attempt to rally, and then fail. That's probably happening. You see it happening in Asia country in the ETFs that I'm looking at. Euro stocks is a little bit different. Euro stocks 50, they had their rally, and I remember seeing news last year or a couple months ago saying that the UK had the highest GDP growth for I think like Q1 or Q2 of this year, 2023. That makes sense. That shows here on the chart a little bit higher on the uptrend, but then it's consolidating to the side right now. That is not good. That's not strong. So growth has stagnated and we are going sideways right now in a parallel channel, plus or minus 3%. If it drops down out of here to about 4,100 euro area in the blue, it needs to hold this level. If it doesn't, there's a problem. The fact that it lost that trend line and we're still going sideways is another problem. So secret weakness here or hesitation in the market, something to just watch out for. Last one for now, UKX, UK 100, consolidating down right now, tightening up, contracting. And if we zoom out a lot, we can see it's not the bottom, thank goodness, but it's not extreme growth. This is kind of a slanted pattern, high, low, high, low. We would have been nice to hit the higher high. Did not do that, so it's pulling back. On a weekly, you need to watch out for this because this looks like some bearish divergence area. A little bit right here, a little bit on the MACD. Okay, let me move on to crypto. Welcome everyone to my stream. This cryptocurrency section. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have a Twitter X group. Let's move on to Total. TOTAL, one of the market cap indexes for crypto. Now, crypto, what I was warning about for about maybe a couple weeks now is the two scenarios. We were inside of this almost ascending triangle, almost. However, the SEC news of lawsuits, this is all of this. SEC news lawsuits starting in about March or April, somewhere in this blue circle, and then another lawsuit development against Coinbase, Binance, trying to reverse the XRP Ripple judge ruling to make it basically not legal. So hitting this lower high, we had one attempt on 1 week right here at this 1.26 trillion blue dot. It should have went high, low, high, low. If it's good news, we should have blasted out of there to 1.4, 1.5 trillion to the upside. Yes, this could be an upside down head and shoulders. Yes, possible. But the fact that we had this big bearish candle, it's still in progress right now. If we do not bounce up and recover, this could be problematic for cryptocurrency, the entire market. My swing trades, I took profit here. I entered in lower throughout 2023, and my stop loss, my take profit, not my stop loss, but my take profit levels on some of my swing trades closed. I tightened my stop loss like way up here. So if you're not going higher, take the profit. I learned that as a swing trader. Now, if you're an investor, it's a different story. Everyone can do whatever they want with their account and their money. We're all responsible for our own decisions and actions in trading and investing. However, if somebody's a swing trader and I'm kind of buying early, like Shiba Inu for, I'll look at that and I'm walking my stop loss up. If it's not going to break out, maybe I want to take a little bit of profit or sell all. It really depends on the market. So earlier in this stream with the news, right? So people have to realize, let's go to Bitcoin, is that when we have this dump right here, why are we having this dump? Well, there's a lot of bearish events happening in the world, plus technical pullback on NASDAQ, QQQ, S&P 500, former FTX CEO went to jail, right? Before his trial, there's just negative events. We had a resistance here at $32,000. So as a short-term trader, swing trader, I'm not going to stay in there. We had 4 weeks of hesitation and then almost this bounce. We almost had it. Bad news. And then we're dumping. Now, what I want to point out on crypto is if you remember, if you were in crypto all the way back here in 2017, December, why did we stop here? The secret is that crypto futures trading was introduced and approved and launched by CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange here in America, and that was approved by the government entities, basically, like CFTC, the Trading Commission, SEC as well. That's why we stopped here. Big money shorted this thing down. We're up too high, parabolic, and it shorted it down again. Here in 2019, it's too high, and then the former president of the United States tweeted that Bitcoin was bad in this area, and we sold off. Then we had COVID, sold off. Then we rallied to the moon, and we had this big resistance up here, $65,000 Bitcoin, too high, bearish pattern, downtrend. We finally found a bottom with bullish momentum on this low RSI level. A lot of us entered back into the market, and then we have all these SEC lawsuits right now. That's basically the history of Bitcoin in a nutshell. So that's why, because I remember that 6 years ago, that when futures trading gets introduced, it's not necessarily good, because that means more people can short the market and bet that the future price of crypto is going down. So it's not always a good tool to have, futures. Also, just like gold, we have the head and shoulders bearish pattern I was warning about last week, that if we lose this neckline, the bottom yellow dotted line, there is a problem and possibly up to a 25% market crash on Bitcoin and altcoins. Do I want it to happen personally? No, of course not. I don't want that to happen to retail traders. But if we're not going to go higher, where are we going to go? It's either going to go sideways, possible, or downtrend. And that's bearish pattern. Because this, on a monthly, you never know. This could be, and when I say this, the 2023 rally could be low, high, low, high, low. This could just be a giant lower high and we dump back down again. It's possible. We'll see. Monthly evening star bearish pattern hesitation here for 4 months going sideways. Resistance, pullback. Evening star bearish pattern. So it remains to be seen. How far are we going to go down here? Loss of momentum on MACD, not even in an oversold area on a weekly. Daily is oversold. However, I would warn against trying to chase just RSI trading, because I want to see a larger price pattern develop. This is how I protect myself. One of the secrets here from getting back into the market too early, because sometimes when the first low RSI, like in this vertical pink, is not the bottom. Definitely not the bottom, right? So sometimes it's like a ball bouncing down a stairs or bouncing down a hill. If you throw it down, it takes a while for that momentum of the price to stop, and then we finally get a bullish setup turnaround. So right now, just like gold, just like S&P 500 pulling back, we need to hold the support. Now, In terms of the future, looking ahead, I'm going to put up Fibonacci retracement lines. Now we could see where are the targets. 50%, 24,000, this green line. 618, 22,000. And is Bitcoin going to go straight down? Most likely not, because we would need really bad bearish news for that to happen. It's most likely going to just hit around here and stay around here, maybe float around here in $25,000 level, maybe attempt a lower high rally because it's oversold. We might dump again. So 3 scenarios. If it's going to retest, bounce back up to about $30,000 or 29. One more time. Retest it, see if it's real before it dumps. Scenario 2, consolidation, we go sideways. Scenario 3, bearish pattern is there is a baby lower high and we dump straight down to 24,000 or 20,000 on fear and capitulation. This is crypto. I do not doubt the volatility of crypto. I have lived in this market for years now. Bitcoin is under the pressure of the law right now, SEC regulation. Crypto exchanges as well. Okay, very quickly, let us move on to Ethereum. Same deal on Ethereum. We lost the support level on this bottom side level trend line. High, low, high, low, high. It's consolidating here. Now, if somebody really wants to say, how can I know it's going to dump before we have a huge red? You have to zoom in on an intraday and understand the trend. If we just go to H4, 4-hour chart, this EMA is already death crossed on July 24. I don't show this too much, but because I try not to confuse people. But if someone really wants to know, this was supposed to bounce up here on middle of August, and it did not. That's why I knew before this thing dumps, I need to exit my swing trades. Get out of there. If you're a swing trader, investors is different mentality. Day traders are just looking for explosive moves up or down. But this is death cross, and it's making a very subtle stair-stepping pattern down. This, right in this blue, August 14th, that's very tight Bollinger Band type of explosive volatility. It's very subtle, but it's low, lower high, and then shorts attacking, and then we have huge dump in the market. So there are subtle ways if somebody is a little bit more objective and versus subjective in their analysis. And I have to spend a little bit more time on the charts if I really want to nail down the exact direction. Are we going up or down? For a swing trader standpoint. From daily, it was also visible. If somebody's just looking and they turn everything off here, you can kind of see it in the price. Fading down, an attempt, down again, one more attempt. We had 2 days to really see. We're not going back up, and then huge dump. Binance Coin. Binance Coin also, remember, one of my scenarios, this is how technical analysis can help us forecast. I drew this X for maybe a month down here. This is my downside target. How do I even get that? Measure this symmetrical triangle, about 9%, exactly right there, 9%. That's why it's floating around down there. Something to watch out for. Watch out for this dump. Remember, Binance has a lawsuit against the SEC right now. They were basically a little bit shut out of Europe. Binance trying to expand in Asia right now. But if we do not hold this level of $218, there's a problem here. It's a descending triangle. So want to watch out on Binance Coin. If this thing does not hold support and doesn't bounce back up, there could be a strong dump crash. Now Solana, I'll try to speed up here. Solana is just in a symmetrical triangle. We probably have to bring this up and close it in as such. But it is after a crash. Yes, it is true. Almost looks like a little bit like copper chart, strangely. After a downtrend, it almost looks almost the same. But so high, low, and if it doesn't hold above 21, it needs to do that. Okay? So Cardano is near the bottom here. Watch out for that loss of support on 26 cents, if it's going to dump or not, and see if it's going to bounce up to 42. XRP Ripple, this is why I say don't chase, please. People don't chase in this market. Remember, the lesson I was trying to tell people is if you have huge green like this in the market, it went up too fast. And if it's not going to bounce up, there was an attempt. There's actually a double top here. That's how I knew XRP is not going up. And then it downtrended off the news. So anybody who entered here, if they're investing, they're only up 9%. This thing blasted up 89%. And, you know, it's difficult. That's a decision a swing trader needs to make. Is are they going to sell it on the first pullback? Maybe lift up their stop loss. So if anybody bought down here, all we have to do is move the stop loss, and then we stop down to profit plus something like 50, 60%, and then not holding it down too much because it's crypto. Okay, AVAX is coming down to a support level. See if it's going to hold or not. Watch out for this if it keeps bottoming out. Now, these are some of the SEC flagged coins. DOT as well, approaching the support level. So it's either going to bounce here. It's either going to hold here. Bitcoin needs to go up, and we need to see a nice bounce, or else it's going to crash. Dogecoin already falling below its symmetrical line. That's happened before, and we had a recovery. So I want to watch out for that if that happens. Shiba Inu, I took my profit on this. I entered in somewhere in this area just visually, right? Sounds about right. And then I exited in this area, okay? Because it looks like it's going up, right? It's symmetrical triangle, and this thing is going up. So this could be a higher low. It could bounce up. That's why we put a stop loss there, like this. You know, buy somewhere here, move it up, we keep moving it up, and then if it's not going to go higher, need to sell before we lose 30% profits, right? So that's why I sold. Now, in terms of, is it over? No, it's not over. It's just consolidating right now inside of a descending triangle. This could be a weekly higher low. I might re-enter again, but most likely some news needs to occur to get the momentum back in. So flipping through a lot of these, you can see a lot of these altcoins are at support or lost support. And that's because altcoins are correlated with Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is fading down, but still, just keep an eye on this because the 139 or 140 level could be our support of this upside down head and shoulders. Maybe this might survive or might just continue to fade down. Ethereum Classic still inside of this symmetrical / descending triangle. Algo, this is definition of downtrend, so beware. This is literally just downtrending on a weekly chart. Yes, it is getting oversold level. Is it extreme? No, that's why. Watch out for it on Algo. I know this is going to be maybe a play to play, a coin to play if the SEC kind of loosens up on this coin, and then if the price starts to turn around, then okay, maybe we're going to get a little bit of long bounce or something like that in this market. XLM, there is support here, and you can see that Bitcoin Cash type of the BCH move, right? Where it goes high, low, higher, high, higher, low, and the hammer right here holding this upper resistance area. So is it over for XLM? This chart on this day, this week, it's not over. But if it doesn't go up higher in a short amount of time, it's gonna continue to fade down. So just something to watch out for that from an investor standpoint. This is just wild moves, right? Hype, hype, hype. And then it's consolidating, it's tightening. Wait, actually, we're turning into a downtrend, double top head and shoulders. That's not good. So many of these other coins at their support level. H-bar did bounce off of this level pretty nicely. However, still in this lower high area. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. Right here, somewhere like 6 or 7 cents, something like that. So you want to watch out for that, okay? Ape if anyone is even still trying to do this, still in the downtrend, okay, this is why it's not good to just hodl some coins that are not going up. By definition, this is a downtrend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Head and shoulders bearish warning on the price broke the neckline to the downside. So, if it was going up, it's a different story. If it was going this way, then you just buy it at one of these spots and then try to hold it as long as you can and move stop loss up. Try to make some profits. But this thing is angling down. This is not going up right now. So I need to watch out for that. The only way to make this clear is make sure it goes sideways right here before it goes up. If it ever does. Okay, I don't see any more requests or questions. I did go a little bit long today. I think I'll end just a little bit with Forex because I haven't done that for a while on stream. So here on the Euro USD, this is looking okay. It's okay on the daily. What I mean by that is there is that, just like gold, a potential slanted head and shoulders. So if Euro USD might pull back down 3% to about 105 area, it's possible on the bearish scenario. However, bullish scenario, it would rebound up to the top of that channel, which would be about 114. So I'm watching those three levels here. USD JPY, right? High, low, higher, high, right? And this 150 area, 145, 137. So this is very similar to S&P 500, high, low, high. And this is actually looking like a little bit of bearish divergence here. You might want to watch out for this if you're a Forex trader. It's in the middle of possibly pulling back a little bit. Something to be aware of. GBP USD. So pound dollar we're in this area of it's very steep rising wedge uptrend like this. So if the higher low doesn't hold, right, it's either going to bounce up or it's not. It's not even oversold right now. So that's why just be aware of that. We'll look at the support above 125 or 118. Want to make sure that. The Aussie dollar, USD, this is another sign. I actually marked this about a month ago for somebody. Double top and say, watch out for that resistance. You measure that move straight down to the yellow line that I marked. Right? So technical analysis works. It's just sometimes slow. Meaning you have to wait on a daily. How long did I have to wait for this bearish setup? 60 days, 50 days, almost 2 months. Okay, everybody. So just want to make it clear to everyone that, this 2023 rally to the upside has lost support. The summary is, especially for American stocks, summary here is we can pull back down a little bit more to 415 or 420 on this S&P 500 chart in this blue circle. However, we do need to hold that support level and rebound from that maybe later this year or next year, whenever it happens. Could be 3 months from now. So this is actually normal. I am not afraid of this. This is normal, okay? Now, what I would be concerned about is if we turn into a downtrend on the S&P 500 and NASDAQ QQQ and we just keep going down nonstop into 2024 for the next 4 months, that is a big problem. Okay, so something just watch out for. Is it just a little dip before we go back up, or is it going to be a crash? So those two scenarios are in my mind right now. Thank you everybody for watching. It was a long stream today, but I hope you liked the stream. You learned something. If you want to support my channel, go ahead and please click subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave a nice comment. Follow me on TradingView, Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter X. And I hope you have a safe and good week. And I will see you most likely next weekend sometime. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.